Welcome into another special episode of New Track Record Podcast. Caleb Hatch with you. Joining us now, it is the driver of the number 28 DHL Andretti Autosport Honda, Romain Grosjean, starting on the inside of row number 7 in Sunday's race. Romain, first off, thanks for coming on.
Hey, hi, my pleasure. Happy to be here.
So, Romain, when you look back at qualifying weekend, you're starting 19th, kind of in the middle of the pack. What did you learn in the Monday practice session as far as cars being able to move from the middle of the pack to the front? Is that something you see likely, or is that something that's going to be a challenge come race day?
Well, I think, it's going to be a challenge for all of us. Looks like Sunday is going to be a warm day, so the track's going to be slippery. We didn't have the speed that we hoped we would in qualifying, so we just need to understand that a little bit better. But Monday, the car didn't feel too bad. We've got carb day to finalize the final tuning on the setup. There's maybe one more thing I'd like to try, and then we're going to be ready for the race. So, as I say, I think it's going to be a challenge for everyone, but I'm kind of happy that the conditions are tough, so we can try to extract the maximum out of it.
Romain, coming into year 2 at Andretti Autosport, your third year in the series, second year as a full-time driver, how much more comfortable are you this year with the team and working with everyone compared to last year as your first year with Andretti?
Well, a lot more comfortable. We actually don't do that many oval or super speedway in the season, so it's not easy to pick up and to be good at it. So we've got 2. We've got Texas and Indy, so really that's only my fourth time on a super speedway. And last year was all brand new. I feel much more prepared for year 2, much more ready. I kind of know what I want from my car in a better way. So I'm all excited about it, and hopefully that's going to work for us.
Yeah, you talk about ovals, and you had that impressive debut at Gateway back in 2021 in your first oval race where you charged up through the field, ended up finishing 14th. Last year at Indy, you struggled at Texas, and then you kind of found your stride at Iowa on the short oval, and then we saw what you did at Texas. Now you ended up finishing 14th, but you're challenging for the race win late. What have you learned just in your couple of years in IndyCar? Was it just needing more time in practice, or what's been the key to as far as moving up and being a competitor on the ovals?
I think, yes, practice definitely helps getting more comfortable. I think also in terms of car setup, we put it in a much better place for me from where it was last year. When you join a team, there's races where everything goes smooth because the setup that they use works well for you. And there's other races where the setup that they've been using is not the one that you that's your favorite. So we tuned that a little bit with my engineer Olivier. In Texas, we got to a very good place. I'm here. Obviously, we don't have the speed that we want, but I think in terms of setup and car behavior, we're not too far out. So let's see if that's the truth. But oval is very different. It's its own challenge, and I'm starting to like it more and more.
Yeah, you referenced your engineer, Olivier Boisson. How important is that relationship coming over to Andretti Autosport been for you as far as your comfort level and being able to advance and move up higher on the grid?
Oh, absolutely key. I think with Olivier, we're very lucky that we've got that relationship, that we work so well together, that we understand each other. I think on ovals, I rely a lot on him, and he cares a lot about me as well. So every time he sees the car, he's doing some things that he doesn't like in practice, he calls me in. Actually, he says, "Don't try anymore. I don't like the car. You come in." And for me, that's important because, on street or road course, you push the car to the limit, you spin, you're on the grass. It's not a big deal. Here, finding the limit is obviously a bigger challenge because you have to gradually get to it, and you never want to go over it. If not, it's a bad day. So that's the challenge of the ovals, is really trying to get in that comfortable state to find and understand what 99.9% of the car is, and that's where you want to stand.
You have been challenging for race wins multiple times this year. In fact, you could say you challenge at St. Pete, battling with Scott McLaughlin until a late crash, battling at Texas till a late crash, back-to-back second place finishes, landing on the podium at Long Beach and Barber, and then at IMS finished 11th. But to be so close in a series that is so close, what is the key to finding that next level and getting that breakthrough victory?
No, I think it's just a little bit of luck. I think we haven't been that lucky. I think we're just gonna keep working at what we do, just focus on what we can do. I think, and that's the way it's gonna come. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm more looking at the championship. Okay, how many points we've got, what we can do to get up there, and really that's all I'm looking for. So race wins are gonna come. We just haven't added everything aligned yet, but it's coming.
Last year was your rookie year for the Indianapolis 500. What was the biggest thing you learned from the race and a thing that you're going to apply on Sunday when you start your second Indy 500?
Quite a lot of things. Last year I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what it was going to be like. But no, I'm 100% more ready for it. There's still a lot I need to learn, but I feel like I'm getting there. So I'm excited for it, and I can't wait for Sunday.
Was there something that really caught you off guard, whether on track or off track, last year on race day, that because now in year number 2 you're going to be more prepared for it?
I think the feeling that you get when you go through Gasoline Alley is very, very special. I don't think you can imagine before you've lived it, and then the race, the way the car needs to behave and what you need to get from it. You don't really know year one, and I kind of know a little bit better. I'm not saying I know it all, but I'm saying I know it a little bit better.
So your IndyCar relatively new, but you have a lot of experience worldwide as a race car driver. Spent many years in Formula One, a handful of podiums with several teams across your time in F1. Is there a series or a race that you haven't yet been able to do that's on your bucket list?
Yeah, there's a few things I'd like to try in the future. But for now, I really stay focused on the IndyCar. I'm doing the IMSA with Lamborghini, which is also a lot of fun. The endurance races, I love Daytona. They bring us fun. I think we've got Petit Le Mans coming on later this year. But also, as I say, I'm also really focused on trying to win the IndyCar championship. So right now, that's the goal. But yes, there are other things that I'll love to try.
Taking a look at what he's done this year, a lot of success on track, but also a lot of success off track. As you got your pilot's license, you flew to St. Pete. You said you'd wanted to become a pilot for several years. You made it happen in the off season. Is there any kind of a flight or place you've flown over that's been memorable for you so far?
Oh, I try to fly everywhere. I flew to Texas. I flew here to Indy. I flew to St. Pete. I flew to Birmingham. I'm going to Detroit. I'm going to do Portland at the end of the year. That's like a 2-day trip, but I'm excited about it. And I just love flying. It's something I wanted to do for a very long time, and I know I do have the chance to do it. So, it's just a very convenient way of traveling, and I can decide wherever and whenever I'm flying.
So when you moved to Miami a couple years ago, when you moved to IndyCar, you had the RV and you took the trip over the summer, taking the RV to races. Does the family prefer the RV or the plane?
I think they go hand in hand, and we're doing another road trip this year. We loved it so much in 2021 that we're actually doing one this year again between Mid-Ohio and Toronto. We're going to go in Canada. It's going to be fun. So yeah, the family loves it. They love coming on the plane as well. The kids sit at the front, and they just love learning about it.
Also off track, you love cooking. You and your wife have a cookbook out. Do you have a favorite dish that you like to cook?
I like everything, but I'm more like a main type plate type guy, or what you call entree. Then these patisserie is very, very specific, and I prefer cooking salty things.
And I got to ask about this. So, world debut of Motor Homies trying to compete against Bus Bros. Unfortunately, it seems like a one and done thing. But did you know Michael Andretti had those kind of acting skills?
Yeah, we had fun doing it. But I just tweeted that we never give up. So I may try to hide it more from Michael and make it happen.
You got to find a way to have him work in his signature line. The don't forget the heat.
All right, I'll try to get in there.
Before we let you go, I want to know your take on IndyCar compared to F1. You came over a handful of years ago. What's been the biggest change living in America for you, at least on a racing perspective, compared to your time in Formula One?
It is very, very different. But I think the biggest difference I would say is that here every week everyone's got a chance to win the race, and that's definitely not the case in Formula One. So we all have the same car, we all have the same chance, and that's the biggest difference.
You mentioned that in your time in F1, you had a handful of podiums, some success with the Lotus Renault and some success with Haas. But like you said, it's more about the car than the driver. Here in IndyCar, knowing that you have a chance each and every race, was that one of the things that really drew you as you are now moving forward in your career, is just to have an opportunity to win races again?
Yeah, win races, win championships, and competing at the highest level. That's what I want to do, and that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm excited about it.
Romain Grosjean, driver of the number 28 DHL Andretti Autosport Honda, joining us. Romain, good luck on Sunday in the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500.
Thank you very much.
That's Romain Grosjean joining us. If you like what you heard, you can always find us at newtrackrecordpodcast.com. While you're there, sign up for the email list. It is free to subscribe. You'll never miss an episode or any special announcements. Plus, you can check out our store. We have t-shirts and stickers for sale there. On social media, our Twitter handle, our Instagram handle, they're the same, IndyCar Podcast. On Facebook, just search for New Track Record. You can also email us, newtrackrecordpodcast@gmail.com. You can support us via Patreon, patreon.com/newtrackrecord. Thanks to Xavier, Rob, Stitch, and others for their support. And you can support us starting at just $1 per month. And as always, you can listen in for free on your favorite podcasting platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, whatever your favorite podcasting platform is, all for free. That wraps up another special edition of New Track Record Podcast. Be sure, if you missed the interviews with Santino Ferrucci, Benjamin Peterson, Simon Pagenaud, be sure to go back and catch up on those, plus more to come leading up to the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday.
Podcasts by Federated Media.